So we're here at the Bath Lit Fest to do Fairytale Hairdresser and the Princess and the Pea. I'm really lucky to get to have Lauren with me today. She's the illustrator of Fairytale Hairdresser, and we don't get to see each other very often because I'm all the way down in Hove and she's all the way up in Manchester. So I took the opportunity to ask her lots of questions about what it's like to be an illustrator.
I became an illustrator because when I was a little girl I used to love writing and drawing my own stories, and I used to draw all the time, and all my friends or pets or anything, and I used to make up little stories about them, so I practiced loads, and that's how I became an illustrator. So I did GCSE in art, and then after that I did an A-level in art and graphic design, and then I went on to do Art Foundation, which is a really great year where you get to study all types of different art. So I did like pottery, sculpture, fine art, illustration, and I liked it so much, the illustration part of it. I went on to university and did a degree in it at Loughborough. So after university I got a job as an in-house illustrator for a toy company, and then after a while I made my own website with my own work on, and I got an email from an agency and which they really liked it, and they asked me to come down and show them the work, and they took me on their books. So with my agent, he got me samples, so when a publisher wants you to illustrate a book, they'll ask for maybe a sample of a character. So I did quite a lot of these samples, and I did get quite a lot of rejection for a while, but then I did a sample for the Fairytale Hairdresser, which Random House really liked, and I went on to illustrate the books. I work I work mixed media and I work digitally, so I'll start off by sketching out obviously how the page is going to look, and then I will fill in with black pen, which I will then scan into the computer. I'll colour it in on the computer, add in textures and colour, then I print it out, and then I work back into it with gouache and other paints, pencil crayons, and anything really, just to give it texture and depth, and then I'll scan it back in, and then I'll work again digitally, adding in more shading, more shadow, highlights, etc. Yes, that's how I tend to work. So I spend quite a lot of time thinking about what details I put into each spread. So for example, Fairytale Hairdresser and Rapunzel, when they're queuing to go to Kitty's salon, I think about who'd be visiting her, why they'd be getting their hair cut, who they'd be with, so I put in a lot of fairytale characters such as Goldilocks, the Three Bears and things like that. And then I think about the town and who'd be in the town and what shops there'd be, so I think about like the Big Bad Wolf might own an opticians, like All the Better to See You with. And yeah, I like adding in lots of details like that. And I think I try and think about the parents as well, so in the Beauty and the Beast, where the Beast is getting a makeover, I kind of based all his makeovers on like musicians over the last like 30 years or so, which I thought would be quite good for the parents too. And my advice to give to anyone who wanted to be an illustrator is just keep drawing, keep practicing, keep going out sketching, note ideas down, be prepared for a lot of rejection, but if you do keep working at it, you know, you can get somewhere. I really love my job. I feel incredibly lucky to be a children's book illustrator. I mean, it's long hours sometimes, and you know, you don't get things quite right. There can always be some last minute changes and it can be quite stressful at times, but it is a really wonderful job.